Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a fundamental shift in cybersecurity, one that basically makes the old rules obsolete. We're going to explore how your identity, yep, your identity, has become the new front line of defense. And this is an absolutely critical concept, especially if you're in a regulated field like finance, banking, or healthcare. So let's start with this single sentence, because it's the key to understanding, well, everything about modern digital defense. It means security is no longer about what network you're on, it's about who you are. And that shift forces us to ask a really uncomfortable question. For decades, we thought about security like a fortress. You build high walls, dig a deep moat, you protect the network, and anything inside that network was considered safe. But that world, and all the assumptions that came with it, it's completely gone. So let's talk more about that crumbling fortress. The traditional security model, the one that's built all around a network perimeter, isn't just showing a few cracks. It's actively failing. I mean, just think about it. We've got remote work, cloud services like AWS or Azure, mobile banking apps, all these interconnected fintech partners. They have completely erased the lines. There is no longer a clear inside versus outside to defend. The fortress has no walls anymore. And this new borderless reality, it's creating a really dangerous identity crisis. For sectors that are built on trust and regulation, I'm talking about banking, insurance, healthcare, the stakes of this crisis are incredibly high. At the very heart of this crisis is this massive contradiction, a paradox that, let's be honest, we've all created as customers. On one hand, we demand that the companies we deal with give us flawless, totally invisible security. But on the other hand, at the exact same time, we do things that are incredibly risky. This chart here just shows you a piece of the puzzle. 56% of people admit they reuse the same password for multiple accounts. That one single habit creates a giant vulnerability, turning a breach at one company into a potential security meltdown for our entire digital lives. And this is the result. 3.25 billion. What even is that number? That's the number of personal records that were compromised in the US in just a 6-month window. And you got to think about that. It's not just a number. It's the raw material for digital crime. Passwords, social security numbers, financial data, all of it falling right into the hands of attackers. So if the old model is broken and our own behavior is working against us, what's the solution? We can't just build higher walls around a perimeter that doesn't even exist anymore. We need something else. We need a new mandate for security. The answer is a really fundamental shift in philosophy. It's called Identity and Access Management 3.0. And look, this is not just another piece of software you go out and buy. It's a completely new strategy that brings together intelligent, AI-powered tech with a new way of thinking, a culture that puts identity at the absolute center of everything. This slide really shows the crucial shift in thinking. We're moving away from what we call IAM 2.0. That's a world of rigid yes or no rules. The new way, IAM 3.0, is intelligent and it's flexible. It uses AI to make what we call probabilistic, risk-based decisions. All that really means is, instead of just a simple password check, it's asking a smarter question. Okay, based on this user, this location, and this device, what's the likelihood this is a legitimate request? So, how do we actually go about building this modern perimeter that's centered on identity? Well, it's not about buying a single tool. It's about putting 4 core interconnected principles into practice. These 4 pillars are the blueprint. It all starts with zero trust, which means we assume every single request is hostile until it's proven otherwise. Then you have adaptive authentication, which uses AI to challenge access only when the risk is high, which avoids annoying legitimate users. Now, this next one is crucial. We have to manage all identities. For a financial institution, a compromised API isn't just some tech issue. It's a direct threat to customer funds and to your regulatory standing. And finally, none of this works without a strong culture where security becomes everybody's shared responsibility. And when you put all those pillars together, you get this. Identity becomes the new control plane for the entire enterprise. It's the central point, the hub through which every single access decision for every user, every device, and every application from anywhere in the world has to be verified and continuously checked. Now, this is really, really crucial. Modern identity management isn't just about preventing bad things from happening. It's about creating real, measurable business value. This is how security finally shifts from being a cost center to a powerful driver of value. Let's look at the hard numbers. A case study of one bank showed that by automating around 40,000 routine tasks every year, we're talking things like password resets and giving new employees access, They saved $1.1 million in annual operating expenses. That's real money that can be put right back into the business. And that one number is just the start. The ROI here is staggering across the board. I mean, look at this, an 80% cut in help desk tickets just from password issues. Imagine what that frees your IT team up to do. Or onboarding new hires 90% faster. For a growing bank or insurance firm, that's not just an efficiency gain, it's a huge competitive advantage. And ultimately, this all leads to that secure, seamless digital experience that builds customer loyalty and drives growth. So with all this in mind, it's really time to take an honest look at where your organization stands today. The digital world has already moved on. And in this new reality, legacy security systems are no longer just outdated or inefficient. They are an active liability. They are an open invitation for an attack. So the critical question is this: is your security strategy built for the world that was or the world that is? Are you trusting sandcastles to hold back a rising tide? Or are you ready to build for the future by putting identity at the very core of your defense?